Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Casually Toxic Podcast. This is episode 10, January 21st, 2018. How's everyone doing today?
So good.
So good.
A plus.
A plus. We're here with Ian and Cirrus.
What's
up? Our normal crew is here to talk about some video games today. I melted off half my face, guys.
You did. I mean, to be fair, you look better for it. You know?
Yeah, I'm slightly concerned about long-term scarring or possible discoloration of my face.
Right.
I think it's like I think it's somewhere between first and second degree burn. So I don't know if it's actually going to leave those white splotches you see.
That'd be dope if you could be like Two-Face.
Yeah, dude. Chicks dig scars, man.
Two-Face is pretty lame. His whole power is just
he
half
flips
my
a
face
quarter.
is fucked up. I flip a coin.
That was my initial. Well, my initial. So what happened was my girlfriend made a candle because I don't know, crafts and stuff. So fun candle making time. Anyway, she made this candle 3 nights ago. Put 3 wicks in it. We poured the wax in it, dried. She lit it last night. I was like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy the candle. And this thing just I guess the wicks were too close together or something, but it created this fire vortex essentially. It was reaching
Pretty metal, dude.
Yeah, it was at least a few inches up in there. Anyway, she's trying to blow it out. It's not working. And given that I live that vape life 420, I was like, I got some good lungs. So I walk up to it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna blow on this as hard as I can, like a dumbass. And I blow in it, and just there's hot wax where you put it in the microwave and melt it, but this I think was boiling wax. It was molten wax just flies into my face. It covers my glasses. I'm thankful I have my glasses on because I don't know what happens when hot wax hits your eyeball.
Good things actually.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gain supervision.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, but anyway, I just have it's hurrying to talk right now actually, but I just have burns down the side of my face. That's day 1 of blistering. I'm a little concerned about it.
Man, your girlfriend was trying to summon Satan and you stopped her, dude.
Yeah,
You saved the world, man.
I might have to tell that to myself when I realize that I'm permanently disfigured.
You're not going to be
Forever, dude.
permanently disfigured.
I don't know what happens to burns on faces,
It'll
but
be
probably
fine.
not.
You'll have a mark for a while, but it'll go away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If it's not a 3rd degree burn, you'll be fine.
I
Which
guess
it's not, because
Yeah.
you can feel the pain.
Yeah, 3rd degree is just
That's
down to
fair.
the bone, right?
No, it burns off your nerve endings, so you actually don't feel the
That's
pain
fucking
there.
wild.
Yeah, and you can't grow those back. So once you have 3rd degree burns, you just have.
I
I
mean,
mean,
the
if you
pain-
try hard
nerve
enough, you can
damage.
do anything with
the
yoga.
pain was a lot worse before. It's actually died down a lot, so maybe my nerves are dead.
Or maybe
I don't
you're
know.
just healing, you know?
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, beyond my face melting, I've been playing some video games. Mostly what I would want to talk about is Portal Bridge Constructor. Have you guys
I've
seen?
seen it.
I've seen it. I haven't played it.
That
It looks
I've
like
heard
a
it's
fun
okay.
time.
yeah, that just when was that announced? It was announced and released all together. right?
Yeah.
That looks like a game that I would play if I was still in high school and I had a class that was bullshit, where you sit in front of a computer and you're supposed to do work, but I would just play video games
Yeah,
instead.
one of those mini clips.
Yeah,
kinda
Coach
games.
Penny's class, I would just play Bridge Constructor.
When are they gonna? What's that other game that they announced? The card one, the Dota one.
Oh, I have
don't know the
no
name of it.
idea. This isn't even I don't think this was developed by Valve. I think it was developed by a third party,
Yeah,
and
it's
then Valve
there's
just published
the
it.
company already made regular Bridge Constructor, and then
Oh.
Valve was like, "Hey, put Portal in it, and you can get some."
Listen,
Yeah,
we've got too many people hot on our ass about not making games. Put out a Portal Bridge Constructor game. We're golden.
Yeah, just throw the Portal Bridge aesthetic on whatever. But the game's actually
Yeah, I heard it's good.
Yeah, it's good in a way. There's more depth to it than I could have possibly expected, I guess. There's some actual physics to it, and the physics are consistent. So you build a bridge, and you build struts to support it. You can build a bridge in an arc, because arcs are more stable, right? If you have any impact on the top of it, or any downwards force acting on the top of an arced bridge, it's going to be more stable. So like those physics are in it.
You
And
gotta use triangles.
Yes,
to
and you-
build
I
your
got
bridge.
you. I got you.
yeah, you
Don't use squares or
Yeah.
whatever those fucking things are called,
Okay.
rhombuses.
So when I'm building a
Don't do
bridge,
that.
it's just going to be straight triangles.
Yes, it should look like that.
Kinda, yeah. You have like a ramp through the middle of a bunch of triangles,
Okay.
basically, or the the entire game is controlled with your mouse. So you left click to change it from a strut to like a road, and then you can double click to delete. Anyway, basically, you don't have to touch your entire keyboard while you're playing this game.
That's like
Oh,
when
so you can
lean back in
masturbate
the
while
chair.
playing.
Yeah,
the
you
game.
can easily make a bridge and then masturbate.
That's
to it, if
fantastic.
if
I mean, if you
engineering
guys are
marvels
like
your
that
thing.
shitty at bridge making, I just
Yeah.
like look at my bridge and I come because
Right.
it's so good.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
right?
have to
Yeah.
touch myself. So
I actually had a thought when I was playing this game, like,
Do you? You're just like, that is
Wow.
a beautiful bridge.
I actually had a thought when I was playing this game. I was like, there could be like competitive bridge constructor where they like throw people random levels, and then like whoever creates the an effective bridge the quickest, like, could win.
Those
Anyway,
old science classrooms where you build a bridge with toothpicks or whatever the hell.
that's kind
that's
of
like kind of what it is.
yeah. This
Oh,
game
yeah.
almost feels like in the kind of the vein of Portal, because Portal was used in some academic environments and like some schools and stuff. I feel like this could also be used in schools to like explain like low level physics, or maybe for like people interested in engineering. Like this could be used as an educational tool for like younger people. But the physics, what I was saying, are consistent in a way that's really rewarding. Like you build your bridge, and when you hit play, you're gonna have the same outcome every time. Like
Okay.
it's very consistent. Like, and then it just kind of becomes a game where you're like tweaking a little angle of a ramp or something if your guys are getting hit by a
the way
turret.
I like seen streams, it's like the guy has the bridge finished, and then he hits play, and then all the guys like fucking the bridge collapses. So then like you like change one thing, and then you hit play, and then
Yeah.
change another thing, and then hit play. Just keep doing it till you
Yeah,
get through.
it's a very addicting loop, and like sometimes it's as simple as there was one level that wasn't working, and all I did was actually remove a single strut. There's like a web of struts, probably like over 20 or 30 of them, and I removed one, and that's like what makes a difference.
And it's on phone.
Is
Which
it
I
on?
didn't-
Is
yeah, it's on your phone. That's
I
actually
don't know if I'd want to play it. On
why.
the
I mean,
phone.
you said it was only left click, right?
Yeah, you probably just touched. The
Yeah,
thing.
but it gets to the point where like there's 60 levels and I'm on level 45 or something like that. It gets to the point where like I'm using the grid. I'm making like the most minute like changes. I'm moving things down like 1 pixel. Like
Oh, and with your thumb, it'd be so hard.
it would be pretty difficult. You could
Well, I've got
do it.
dainty thumbs, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean it depends on
Maybe
your
I
thumb
can
size,
just,
right? Yeah, if you're a dainty thumber, then
Yeah.
I'm sure.
daintiness.
Yeah.
Max
I mean-
daintiness.
what I lose in manliness, I gain in Portal Bridge Constructor ability.
But it's a really fun game. I highly recommend it. I'm definitely going to finish it. I would say it's probably going to end up being, depending on how long
How
it
much
takes.
it costs?
It's like $10, I think.
Nice.
It's $5
That's a
on phone. That's
Fair
weird. That's
motherfucker.
Well, the mobile phone price
might not
caps
be
are a
like
lot
the full
lower.
game.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Also, they have like mobile, like the mobile market's a lot different, right? Like no game on mobile can ever be the same price as a PC.
Even if
game.
it's the same game.
even if it's
Yeah,
the
no
same
one will
game.
buy that shit.
Yeah,
That's
no one will
fair.
buy
I mean,
that.
I assumed that, but I always kind of thought that they would just cut content. Like, you know how there's like Final Fantasy.
See,
or
what I
whatever?
would assume is they throw in like 1 or 2 microtransactions or something. They make it, because there's another example of this, and there's another phone game that was on
Minecraft.
PC as well. No, not Minecraft.
Rocket League.
Minecraft was actually cutting content because Pocket Edition doesn't have that much. Rocket
don't know.
League is not on phones.
I know, but what if it was?
That would suck.
Are you kidding me? That's the only time I'd play that.
That would
shit
be
game.
fucking awful. Like even on Switch, I hear people complaining about Rocket League.
All I remember from like Minecraft being on the phone is just a million things, all copying Minecraft on like the top 20
Yeah,
apps.
yeah. There's always like variations on block this and block
Yeah.
that. But with Bridge Constructor, what I assume is there's like some weird or maybe like you can pay to skip a level if you get stuck. That's what I would assume with the $5 fee, but I don't know what it actually is.
Huh.
But yeah, it's a good game. I was saying it's 60 levels. I probably put maybe 10 or 12 hours into it, and I'm on level 45.
Oh,
so
wow.
you might get like, depending on how quickly you solve puzzles, you might get like 15 plus hours out of it.
Dang.
So overall, seal of approval from
Yeah.
old Matt over here.
Yeah,
That's the
100%.
stamp.
Yeah, 100%
Nice.
seal
We should
approval.
give you a stamp. and you just slam it down on the table. Nobody, people won't know what's happening, but we can.
I mean,
explain to them
they
afterwards.
could hear the thump, or I could just like yell something when I do it. Just scream stamp.
Just have like a Japanese game
You
show
just gonna
type
scream
deal where
stamp.
I'm just gonna yeah.
just loud fanfare and like
Yeah. We can
Matt,
play.
Is that game good? Stamp.
We should really look into like how we would incorporate like short wave clips or whatever.
Alright, soundboard next episode. Get on.
Yeah. our producer Scotty, please get on the soundboard.
We're gonna need that like ooga like tugboat like fucking horn thing when you see like a pretty lady and your eyes pop out of your skull.
So I hear you guys have been playing Dragon Ball Fire Z. I mean, I think everyone that has listened to this podcast probably knows that you guys are all about this beta that was coming up.
Oh yeah.
Was it as satisfying as you guys hoped? Did you orgasm as much as you wanted, or like did you orgasm a limited number of times?
I
Very
mean,
limited because on the first day,
yeah.
no games, all
Yes.
shut down. Servers took a big doo doo.
Well, that's the
And,
point of it, right?
But
Yeah, they fixed it, and after the next day, and then they added another day of the beta. So
Yep.
they were like, "Yeah, we fucked up, but should be all good now." And it was cool.
it feels really good to play, and it feels the net code is really important in fighting games, and it feels tight. It's if you played any of Arc System Works other games, they have this
I have not. Well, it depends what
that's
game.
fair.
What
Blaze
game?
Blue or
they have like a they show actually like the connection, but not as like a bar. They show it in terms of frames, because everything in fighting games is measured in frames. Like a move can be 8 frames long. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. So it'll be like the delay is 4 frames. You know.
Oh.
And
Okay.
yeah. So it really helps, and then the game looks fucking amazing.
yeah, it looks awesome. And
Like-
the sound is awesome. It's just good to look at.
It's
a
just
good fucking time.
it's so cool because it's a tag team, 3 people on a team.
So like Marvel vs. Capcom style.
Kind of, but yeah, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom. The new one is only 2-player.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
But
I should
yeah,
say.
and 2 is also a 3-man team that you can swap out at any time. Because there's also like King of Fighters, you fight with 3 characters,
Yeah.
but you can't tag out. Like one
Oh,
person has
really?
to die until you switch to the next one.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So there's like strategy involved in like, I guess more in KOF than in this game, but like, you know, who's going to be your lead character,
Your
and then your
anchor.
second character, and then your third character.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
kind of how Marvel vs. Capcom 3
Yeah,
works too.
so-
Except that game's broken beyond belief, but that's
This game,
neither here or there.
more than anything else, has just fucking style going for it, and just pure coolness factor.
Best style.
I'm just saying, man. Like, there's some.
But it's also fun to see people like been messing with the tech a little
Yeah.
more and like learning more stuff. Like I saw some Twitter shit later, like after the beta finished, people
Yeah.
were like messing around. There's this video of this guy with like he's got like 4 bars playing Goku, and he hits him with like an aerial Kamehameha, and then instant transmissions behind him hits him with another Kamehameha, and then instant transmissions to the left side of the screen and hits him with the father son Kamehameha. So it's like a triple Kamehameha. It does like 30 or like 40% of his health, like
Yeah.
unblockable. Like,
Dude, it's when you get to these moments where it's like you ult, and then you tag in a character who ults, and then you tag in your last character who ults, but the other guy's also ulting. So it's like you have like 6 fucking like mini cutscenes of just
Yeah, but
gigantic shit going on.
at least to
and it's
me,
nuts.
it doesn't look like Marvel, where it's like, not that this is a bad thing, but like something that you'll see in Marvel, especially as like a person who's not familiar with fighting games and especially Marvel, is that like you'll be watching and it's like Magneto is literally like flying at the
Yeah.
top of the screen and you can't even see the other fighter, and there's like just like swords like flying down from the sky,
Yeah.
and you have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like in this one, there's a lot going on, but you can tell it's like this guy's shooting a beam and this guy's shooting a beam and
Yeah.
this guy's shooting a beam.
There's aerial gameplay, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
You know, you're never like flying off the screen.
Do
from,
people
Yeah.
ever get locked in like infinitely long combos? Is that
I
a
haven't
part?
seen it.
I mean, it's a
Okay.
beta, so far they haven't discovered anything.
Yeah.
The
I mean-
damage might be a little high because you can like 40% somebody in a 50-50 mix up.
50-50.
Yeah, and,
50-50.
So I don't know. I mean, like once the game actually comes out, it'll be
Yeah.
more interesting to see.
Okay, because my most direct comparison is Marvel vs. Capcom 3. In that game, like, you literally get, like, 300, like, hit combos. It's,
Yeah.
like, the norm.
No,
Yeah,
it's
well, that's just
definitely
like the
not
style
that
of the
drastic.
game. They wanted to make it look that way.
Yeah. Do fighting games ever actually get to, like, 0 drop frames? Like,
In person,
Land,
arcade.
Not never online before.
I mean, it's just
Never online.
impossible.
It's impossible to do it online.
Yeah.
That's why people
In
like
any
to turn on
game.
some
And
still
only
face-to-face.
this game actually measures latency. In
Well,
dark games.
Arc system works just
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
just like
games
their
like
style.
Guilty
Oh, okay.
Gear.
Guilty
Yeah.
Gear, Blaze
Yeah.
Blue.
Blaze
Okay.
Blue, yeah. I mean, like, they'll usually show it as, like, a bar connection, like, oh, you've only got 3 bars, well, this is going to be a little fucking rocky, but...
Yeah.
This isn't the same developer as Xenoverse, right?
No.
Okay. I played a little bit of Xenoverse, but
No, Xenoverse is not at all like this game.
okay.
No. This one's actually good.
Yeah.
I thought people like Xenoverse.
Yeah, I'm just
People
giving
do
it
like
shit.
Xenoverse, but people like a lot of shit.
I mean, I fell off it immediately. Like, unfortunately, I'm ashamed to admit, like, I'm not like a huge Dragon Ball fan. Like, I've tried watching Dragon Ball Kai.
No,
And
I'm with you on that. 100%.
You're just a fight. You're just.
I just
into
like fighting games. I like doing cool shit.
I assume you're a big Dragon Ball guy.
I like it. R.I.P. DB Super. That shit's going away in March, in case you guys didn't know.
Oh, really?
Is that
Yeah.
like a? Was that supposed to be like a continuation
So
of DBZ?
this
or?
is what. So what happened is there's Dragon Ball and there's Dragon Ball Z, which were made
Yes.
by Akira Toriyama.
And Dragon Ball was like the 80s, right?
Dragon Ball was in the 80s and Dragon Ball Z is in the 90s. That's why even
Yeah.
if you watch it, like the anime didn't air until later, but if you watch it, like the style of the clothes everyone wears and like just like the style of the animation and like the character designs like look super 80s and it's awesome and I love that style. And then after Dragon Ball Z came out, Toriyama, the original guy, was like, I'm done with Dragon Ball. And then they made Dragon Ball GT, which was not made by the original author. And it was all right. Some people like it, and some people really don't like it. And I think it's okay. It has some all right stuff. Omega Shenron's a cool dude. But then, like, years later, they were like, hey, we're going to make Dragon Ball Super. And we have Toriyama, like, writing story. Not writing the story, but he, like, approves the story. Like, the guys who are making the anime write it and then show it to him. And he's like, yes, okay. So that's what's happening right now is Dragon Ball Super. And they've totally retconned GT. GT never happened in the Dragon Ball universe now.
Gotcha.
So, are they ending it because just like that's a story's natural conclusion?
So
or...
they've been a little vague on why they're ending it. They haven't even said that it's over. They just said we're taking a long break, which I think is going to be a long time, like
Right.
years.
And long in Dragon Ball Z is like
Yeah.
lifetimes.
So like they're going to end this current arc that's going, the Tournament of Power, which is a really good arc. Probably the best that Super's been so far, which just makes me sad that it's ending like right here as it's getting good. But the manga will continue to go. The manga is like currently behind the anime.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's weird.
But the manga also has like certain differences to the anime, like more characterization and like the endings to certain arcs are a little different. But the manga is going to continue going, so maybe they're just going to like let the manga like work itself out and then like go back to the anime, like
Yeah.
once they have like enough original stuff to like reproduce.
I wonder how long this is kind of off topic, but like how long do you think it takes to make like one volume of a manga?
One volume,
'Cause, I
like-
mean, that's a
like
lot of
Manga,
art.
I have no idea.
10, 15 chapters. I don't know. It
Well, I mean, like
depends
one
on-
like book, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what a volume is.
Okay.
Like 10 to 15 chapters, or 20. I don't know. Depends on how fucking crazy you are. But it like depends on who the artist is, the
Yeah.
author, because like some dudes like, if you're writing for Shonen Jump,
You've got to be much.
which is
quicker,
where
right?
all that shit comes out. Shonen Jump is a weekly publication, so you have to. And a lot of those dudes write their mangas like the way that South Park is made. Like it's airing on Saturday, you have to turn it in on Friday, and you're starting on Sunday. Like that's why a lot of you hear stories about these like manga artists and authors who are just like getting crazy fucking burnt out because they're just like they don't sleep, they don't do anything
Yeah.
but work all the fucking time. And, like, a lot of them are, like, insane where they're, like, well, it's my masterpiece and no one else can do it. I have to do all of it by myself. Like, the guy who makes, fucking Hunter x Hunter and,
really?
and the guy who makes Berserk are just, like, fucking insane and they don't have any assistants who help them. So, like, they just create these crazy fucking stories and they just, like, kill themselves doing it. Like,
Dude, Berserk
it's insane.
looks really bad on Netflix.
No. Oh, that's the wrong Berserk.
Which, yeah, it depends on which one.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one on Netflix.
The
I just
original Berserk
tried
came out
watching
in
it.
like '97 and is really good, and then there was a updated one with a terrible art style.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, the
CGI.
CGI.
Yeah,
20,
the
yeah,
CGI.
Berserk
Yeah.
2016 is
yeah,
awful.
that's very
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, that's the one I looked at, and I was just like.
Did you
Yeah.
guys check out that Devilman Crybaby thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
awesome.
watched it yet.
I've watched all of
I
it.
heard. Oh, and you're.
I'm almost done with it.
It's good, but there's a certain person that's gonna like it,
Okay.
and
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
But you have to know the director is Masaki Yuasa, who makes like really weird anime in general. Like
Sure.
he made Ping Pong the animation, which is like the weirdest part about that is the animation. But that's fucking awesome. That's like maybe my favorite anime. And then he made like Tatami Galaxy, which
Yeah.
is also pretty weird.
Yeah,
Like all of his anime are like really unique and niche.
Yeah.
that's cool. I saw
But really, really good.
I saw that Castlevania season 2 is going to be coming out in summer.
Yes.
So-
Did you guys see the
Castlevania 2
first
For 10
season?
episodes. Yeah.
I didn't see it. Like, I watched like the
Oh,
first couple
it's
minutes
really
of the
good.
first
it's only
episode.
like 4 or
Yeah,
6
it's only
episodes.
like
pretty
80
short.
minutes total. It's
Yeah,
like 4
okay.
20-minute
Short.
episodes.
So like, it's really good.
It's
You
really
recommend
good.
Yeah,
Worth
it's
watching.
Do I have
Yeah.
to know anything about Castlevania?
No, it'll
beforehand?
explain it to you.
All right, awesome.
I mean, there's like nice little Easter eggs, like,
Uh-huh.
if you don't. But I mean, it's nothing like super crazy.
It's not the
just
end of the
like,
world.
Oh, dude, I know who the Belmonts are.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was paying attention to Devilman Crybaby too, as I was gonna kind of try to follow this like evolution of like Netflix anime series just to see like
Yeah.
what they end up doing with it.
They
Ultimately.
did another one, wasn't it? Oh God, Kakiguri.
I don't think
Kakagurui,
Wasn't it? It's
the
like
gambling one.
the gambling one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't
is that
a Netflix
is
one?
that technically Netflix? Because Netflix has a run now where I've noticed they just put their stamp on
Oh, yeah.
like
That's what that show
they're
is.
they're just serving as
Yeah,
distributors. There's
because so what's happened with the Kakagurui is that it was already a manga, and
Yeah.
it's like already an original story that they like aired on TV in Japan. Like Devilman Crybaby did not air on TV in Japan; it's only on Netflix.
I thought they had other adaptations.
Who?
Devilman.
Oh, no, I'm talking about this new one, the one that just came out this
okay,
year,
okay, all right,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Is like a Netflix original that like they gave money to Yuasa to make this.
Okay.
yeah.
You know, and Kakagurui was like those guys made the show and then they showed it to all these networks and they were like, somebody take us, and Netflix took them.
But then, like, I don't know if you saw Into the Fucking World on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
but
seen
heard
it.
it's
Looks good though.
Yeah, it's really fucking good, but it aired on Channel 4 in the UK, like, back in September. No one even knew for sure, like, really, if Netflix put a single cent into it.
Huh.
Like, they pay to throw their stamp on things and be like, we did it. And it's like, no, you fucking didn't.
I mean,
this
but
is
I'm-
really misleading.
I don't know. I'm
But-
kind of okay with it because, like, especially with anime, I know there's a problem with like money and overall, like, you know, profits. And if Netflix is gonna throw money at them for them to do what they want to do, like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with Netflix when they like help fund a project. I just think them kind of throwing their stamp on anything, even when they didn't help fund it, is kind
Yeah.
of like getting you just like
if it's-
Netflix
if, like, when
original
you turn
doesn't
on the
mean
show
anything.
And it says Netflix original,
Yeah.
and it's like it's not really.
It's not really
yeah,
an
it
original.
just doesn't mean anything.
It's
Like,
kind of the same shit where it's like based on a true story, and it's like, okay, but it's not really.
Yeah.
a true
well,
story.
yeah.
There really wasn't somebody that was
Yeah.
possessed,
Yeah.
and
And
somebody
it-
had to exercise them.
Anyway, tying it back to video games. The next thing we were going to talk about, which I think Sirius and I have played, you beat it, Night in the
I beat
Woods.
it, Night in the Woods. Excellent game.
Does anything ever happen?
That's the whole point of the game.
I know. Okay, and that's what I read, and I don't know. I guess I'm taking issue with this game.
It's just like a story. you
I know.
That's all. It's just a story.
I know, and I know not all stories have to be like big and climactic, but
Yeah.
also, how many sittings did you play it in?
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Yeah, 6
Okay.
hours.
Okay, I played 6 hours. Man, I must be close to the end.
Yeah.
I played like
Did you get to the Weird Autumn part?
yes.
Like, you know, it's in like chapters. Weird Autumn is actually like DLC that was added on later.
I'm in part. No, I didn't get Weird Autumn. I'm only in part 2 actually.
hmm
How many parts are there?
It starts in the summer, right? And then it goes fall, winter.
And then so the 3 parts.
Yeah, I think it's 3 parts.
Okay, so I'm still in part 2, and I played like 4 or 5 hours. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kept waiting for something to happen, and I know it's not that type of game, and I shouldn't be waiting for something to happen. But I just got bored.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine if that's like what you're looking for. I would just wanted to see, like, because I'd already heard about like what the story was going to be about, and some of the what I really liked was like the political messages in it.
Sure.
Because like, so what it is all the characters are like animal, what are they called, like anthropomorphic, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
people, right? And they all like walk around and hang out in this town, and it's like
What's the name of the town again? It just escaped my memory.
Possum something,
Possum
Falls or something like that.
Yeah,
Creative.
Possum Falls. sounds
Possum
correct.
something. No, but it's really good, and it's really like probably not that relatable to us because we don't live in that situation, but it is like a real situation that happens to a lot of people who like especially live in like the Midwest and like that area, like the Rust Belt today, of like these like former like vibrant like mining towns
Yeah.
and like industrial towns that like since the 80s and 90s, like all those jobs are gone. So it's just like all this like unemployment and like dead town, and like people feel like they're trapped in this town, and like, you know, not a lot of opportunity.
So like, what's the like? I don't mean to derail you, but like, what's the like plot of this game?
Basically-
That's the plot of the game is that you play as this girl May, who comes.
Who's an animal? Everyone's
Yeah, everyone's an
animals in this
animal.
game.
Yeah, so she comes back from college to her hometown.
She's a cat.
Yeah,
Lit, dude.
and she comes back from her, like, she drops out of college. She only
Yeah.
went 1 year,
Okay.
and she drops out of college and comes back home, and it's like just about, I don't know. It's a really,
It's about her-
really good. It's about like, it's hard to say what it's about because I can tell you the plot and I can tell you
Yeah,
what it's about.
but it's spoiling
You
it.
know, not that it's spoil. I mean, the whole thing.
It's
is just
it's
a
just
story,
kind of
but it's
about
like
her coming back after dropping out of college and like seeing how
Dealing with
things
those
have
feelings.
changed.
Okay, so it's like an indie lifestyle.
yeah, it's like
kinda
about
game.
Kinda.
it's a story more than like a
Okay.
game because it's like you get like choices and like it just reveals more of the story. It's not like crazy shit that like, you know, you have to do.
Yeah.
And there
'cause
are
there's like
gameplay
there's like fun
elements
little
to it.
mini games that you play in
Yeah.
it, little like
Alright.
music parts. But yeah, so it's like you come back from this college town and you have to deal with these like feelings of like, you know, like everyone thinks you're a failure because you quit
Yeah.
college, you know, and you come back to this like shitty little town where there's people there who are like, you know, like if my parents could pay for me to go to college, like I absolutely would. And I
Yeah.
can't believe that she would like throw that away because,
Yeah.
you know, you feel like it's too tough, you know, and it's like real shit that like you like, I don't know, the other games, like when they deal with these huge, like bombastic, crazy stories, it's like, you know, it's cool and it's fun, but like this game is like really, really relatable. Like just like the themes that it deals with. It talks about like friendships, like just like getting older, you know, and just like your friends are like starting to do their own things and go off on their own. And like May, the main character, is really immature. So like a central like part of the game is like how she thinks that she quit college, she's gonna come back home and it's gonna be just like it was in high school. She's gonna hang out with her friends, they're gonna like, you know, skip class and smoke cigarettes behind the whatever and like hang out and like, you know, play pranks and shit. And then she comes back and all her friends are like, no, like we have jobs now, I gotta pay bills, like it's not fun, like being an adult is not fun.
That sounds
You know?
like really cool.
It's it's like it's not like I make it sound really dour, but it has like optimistic notes
Yeah.
and it ends on an optimistic note too. But like I feel like the down parts of the game are really what like pulled me in, is that it's like, you know, it's like it's sort of like this, like everything's awful, but it's not like, you know, because, you know, some fucking wizard from another dimension is gonna kill
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
everything's awful because like
You're not
you-
saving the world.
Yeah, it's like your dad might lose his job and like his job is working at the deli at the grocery store. Like
Yeah.
it's not a prestigious thing, you know. And it's like I don't know, it's really cool. It's a really good game and I recommend it.
It's an awesome concept, and like I just hit a wall with it where I was just bored. I don't know, maybe I just can't relate to it in the way they were intending. It's not a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game at all. And normally I like kind of these more story-driven experiences, even the quieter ones. But just the subject material, I guess I couldn't
It
relate.
just doesn't vibe you. with you?
Yeah, the dialogue is so good too. Like just the
Dialogue is
interaction.
really good.
Yeah.
All the characters are really awesome. Your
Yeah.
two best friends. That's like one of the big main things that you do have a choice over, is you have your two best friends, Greg and B, and so you have to like choose on days kind of like Persona, like to hang out with one of them.
Yeah.
And
So
if you
kinda
hang
end
out
up
with
a
one of them
different story.
more, you get like their ending. So I did the B ending. I didn't know this was happening as I was playing through, but I got like the B ending of hanging out with her and like mending your relationship with like when you come back and you're like, why do you hate me? I thought we were friends. And she like talks about how she was like, she's the girl who like her in high school, her dad died. And so she had to like, as soon as she graduated, she had to take over, or not dad, her mom died and her dad like owns like some, you know, like hardware store. And so she just has to work there all the time because her dad, like after his wife died, like became depressed. And so he just doesn't do anything. And so she's like, I have to work, like we'll lose the fucking house and I don't get to do the fun things. And like, she's like really smart and good at school and she wanted to go to college, you know,
Yeah.
but because all this awful shit that's happened now, she's like stuck, you know, working this job. And like talking about like how like, you know, May is just like a fucking child for being like, why don't you just come and hang out and have a fun time? And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I live in the real world where bad shit happens. Like,
So I started with B and then I switched, so I have no idea like what type of ending that leads to.
yeah,
But
it's just like, well, there's like the main story ending I think is always like the same, but then there's also like another
character
side thing you can
ending.
go with Greg. The thing like that like to illustrate how good the game was to me is that I went and hung out with Greg because Greg is like, He's like your up friend. He's super cool. He wants to hang out all the time.
Hyper.
He wants to party. He's
Yeah.
hyper. He's funny, you know? And if you go and hang out with him after like the first or second time, like it reveals like this little like sadness behind him. Like, you know, he's got like a sad story behind despite
Yeah.
how like happy he seems. And I was just like, I don't want this. Like, I don't want to know how sad Greg is because he seems too awesome to be like, you know, oh, my relationship isn't really working out.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
And it's hard to spoil this game because like your path can be totally different, and also, again, there's no, from what I played to so far, there's no big points. There's nothing
yeah, that's
like,
the thing. I feel like even if I tell you everything that happens, like you'll still get a big amount of enjoyment playing the game because like the dialogue is so well written. Everyone talks like a real person.
but it's not voice acted.
Yeah, it's not
all
voice acted.
text.
It's all
Okay.
text.
Yeah.
That makes it
All
easy.
text. Also, the soundtrack and music in this game
Yeah,
is so
soundtrack is
so
really
fucking good. Super super good.
All right. Sounds like you need to pick this game up.
It's a good time.
It's interesting. Just go into it with an open mind, and I want to revisit it, and maybe I just picked a bad day to play it. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, you guys
I played another game that's not on the list that I forgot to mention.
Ooh.
talk about that game then.
Axiom Verge.
Never mind.
Oh,
Fuck
shit.
that game. We're gonna talk about the
Whoa,
game.
I'm talking about-
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So I finished Hollow Knight, and I was like, damn, Metroidvania is the one true master race of genres.
It's true. It's true.
And it's the only games you should bother playing anymore because it's just the most fun. And now I'm like,
All scientifically proven facts.
yeah, so now I'm just like trying to like get like a retro Pi so I can play like Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid and shit.
Really,
Just go back and play all this stuff.
dude. I think I'm done with Metroidvania games.
Why?
I tried playing Hollow Knight, and I really like it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still gonna stick with it. I was just like, I don't know. Maybe I've played too many. I
Mm-hmm.
need to take a break from it.
Did you play Axiom Verge?
I played Axiom Verge. I played Ori and the Blind Forest.
And you didn't like those, or
No, I loved them, and
Yeah.
but now I'm just like, I see Metroidvania, and I really gave Hollow Knight a decent shot. I got to the second or third area. I did a few bosses. I was just like, I don't
Well,
want to do
having
this right now.
played Axiom Verge and Ori, I'll tell you that Hollow Knight is better than both of those
Yeah,
games.
and I
still.
100% believe that it is, and I know that it probably is. I just like I'm done with Metroidvania right now for like some reason.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just like over it, you're over
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
can come back to it another
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, but Axiom Verge, after playing Hollow Knight, I had like maybe a little trouble getting into it because it's way more
Dense.
like obtuse.
Obtuse,
Yeah.
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 It's
Isn't
hard to
there, like,
navigate.
there's like a ton of like, yo, shoot a wall, and then
Oh,
something
there's
reveals
so
itself.
many like fucking. I went for 100%. Like after I killed all the main bosses before like the final boss, I was like, all right, I want to get 100% because I saw somewhere that it's like if you get 80% item completion, you get like a little special prologue. So I was like, I want to see what happens. The story in that game is good. It's not like so Hollow Knight story is like fucking blows it out of the water because Hollow Knight like has like this huge story and like secret deep lore that you can find if you look into
Okay.
it.
Does Hollow Knight have a huge overarching
Yes,
story?
yes,
I
it
didn't really
does.
see. I saw more of the obscure Dark Souls style
I
stuff.
think it's
No,
just
it
because you and I
reveals
haven't gotten
itself.
that far.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that.
it reveals itself like a lot more plainly as you play through the game.
Oh, okay. That might keep me playing.
Yeah.
Make me want to play more of it.
But in Axiom Verge, it's like you just kind of wake up and it's like, all right, now go, which is cool. I'm like not bashing
Yeah.
it. It's good, but like I didn't. It was hard for me to like put the story together until I went through like doing the 100 completion run and then like reading all the texts that you find after you translate them and like giving this story. And it's a really good story, cool game made by one dude, Thomas Happ, which
Yeah.
I thought was really cool.
That's wild.
The soundtrack in that game is super, super good. The powers are fun to get. It has a lot of weapons, but I felt like I just like after I got the flamethrower, like I literally only used the flamethrower. It's so good. Yeah, it's a good game. I think the movement was like really good. I guess like comparing it to Hollow Knight, the combat is not as fun to me, but it's like totally different because Axiom Verge is like you use guns and you shoot.
Yeah.
And Hollow Knight you have a sword. But like the combat to me in Hollow Knight was more about like you like Dark Souls. It's like you have to watch the enemy's movement, watch how his attacks work, and plan your opening, and that's when you attack. And Axiom Verge is a little more like bullet hell. Like the bosses will just fire like 10,000 bullets at you at once, and you have to dance around while shooting them at the same time, which
Yeah.
is fun and like hard. And I like had that feeling of like getting better at the game as I played through, despite the enemies not becoming
Yeah.
like stronger or harder.
Yeah.
Like I was just getting better at like moving and shooting at the same time and doing all that shit. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Thought the story was good. Not as good as Hollow Knight.
Which is really interesting to me because like I played Axiom Verge and I didn't beat it. I think I got really far. But I really enjoyed that, and like Hollow Knight so far, I've kind of like I'm lukewarm on it. Like it's alright,
Yeah.
but I haven't gotten around to it. But if you're saying it's like
Is there a
better
turning
than
point in
Axiom
Hollow Knight
Verge.
where you were just like, fuck yeah, or
Yes.
you like fuck yeah from the beginning?
Yes, Hollow Knight for me. Hollow Knight took me 3 tries to get into. The first 2 times I wasn't that big
Yeah.
into it because
Okay.
it starts slow and the movement is clunky and the combat seems clunky when you start, and it's just like sort of a learning curve once you like learn because like. So when you start with Hollow Knight, like when you swing your sword, you have first off you have really short range and
Yeah.
low damage, and when you swing your sword, you have recoil, so like you bounce back, and that can feel bad when you're getting used to it. But like as you go through the game, you get like power ups that like make movement way better. Basically, I would
is
say
there like
play.
a boss, like a third, fourth.
What I'm
fifth
trying to say is
boss?
play up until you get the wall jump, and
Okay.
I think once you get wall jumping, which is like the third. Well, it's hard to say like when you get.
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
I
It's
didn't
Metroidvania,
get
but, like,
to the wall jump.
But once you get the wall jump, the game really opens up
Okay.
and like becomes a lot more fun. Because like I remember, I think you go to the Mantis Village, like it's like the third place you go, third or fourth, and the Mantis Village is like crazy fun to me because it was really hard. The Mantis enemies are like really tough. The boss is really fun to fight against.
I'm
so
on
I
like
think
the
that like
forest area. Where's that?
I'm a little bit, yeah, I'm in the forest area too. I think I
I think
might
that's the
have beat
second
it.
area.
I think I just beat that boss.
Yeah, I think the forest area is the second, and you might be able to go to the Mantis Village after
All
that.
right.
Yeah, and so yeah, that I think the Mantis Village is like where the game starts becoming like really fun.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll push a little bit
Yeah.
further in it. The game we were originally landing on after that was Division.
Take 1 second. What
Sure.
time is it?
Hey everyone, sorry we had some technical difficulties there, and we also lost Cirrus because he has to go off and study for the LSAT.
Yeah, that was our technical difficulty. We lost an actual human
We
being.
lost, our technical difficulty was that we actually lost a human being.
But we gained another one.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. Alberto from, famously from episode 2 of the Casually Toxic podcast.
Our highest reviewed podcast.
Yes.
All 5 stars.
Yes.
Solely because of the fact that I used 37 likes and in the span of 2
It
minutes.
was truly impressive.
It was.
It's a skill. It's a skill, you know.
It takes a lot of practice. I wake up every morning and look in the mirror and just say like as many
yeah,
times as
but
I
it's
possibly
you
can.
can't do it as much as Birdo can.
Yeah,
No.
you got to practice a whole lot of social awkwardness, man. It's
You gotta
It's difficult.
practice like a whole lot of like social awkwardness.
Yeah, you just consistently approach humans you're uncomfortable with. You stutter
Uh-huh.
around them, and then you carry that into all facets of your life.
If you want more social tips,
it's
tune in to more
it's a
Casually
lifestyle.
Toxic.
It's a life choice, you know. You got to commit to it 100%, and that's what it is, you know.
So before we took our little break and lost our beloved Cirrus, we were going to say a few words about the Division. You can go ahead and be positive about it before I just like bitch about one specific thing if
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah, the typical Matt Weiss review is you bitch about one small, tiny thing that is insignificant.
Well,
not
it's about the
important.
whole, right?
What?
It's about the whole picture. I mean, like, one small thing taints the entire picture.
Yeah, but that.
It's about the whole pizza
Yeah,
pie.
'cause
That,
Like,
that,
this whole, like-
no. Your games aren't perfect, man. Nobody's perfect.
All the games I play are perfect,
Anyway,
just like me.
The Division's a great game, and it wasn't at launch, and it's good now.
Yeah, okay, because the only thing I remember about that game is that, like, it launched, people hated it, stopped playing it,
Yeah.
and then out of nowhere, I just started hearing about it again. I'm like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
so Ubisoft, I guess their new thing is they just stick
Continually
with
support games, and it's working
it, which
for
is
'em.
fantastic because Rainbow Six Siege, a fantastic game and notorious game that's better than CS:GO, had this exact same thing where there's like a really crappy launch, and that they support it, and they're doing the same thing with the Division. They keep patching it, releasing DLC, and it's in like a really good
So
spot.
apparently they keep patching it, but every time I dive back into it, which has been I've checked in I guess 2 times before this time,
Okay.
right? And it doesn't. Their changes never seem to actually affect the new player experience. Like I'm
Yes.
never that far in the game. I'm only like level, I think 11. I'm like level 11 or 12.
Yeah, so the level cap is 30,
Yeah.
and I'm only 18, 19, so I'm not
Yeah.
capped yet.
Yeah.
Leveling up is definitely very boring. It's
Yeah.
not like boring in the sense of like I don't enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of literally you press F on this thing. Oh, and now you got to go press F on that thing, you know?
Yeah, and well, I guess my point also was it just doesn't. Maybe it's because I'm playing it so far apart, but it doesn't seem like it's changed.
Yeah.
Which everyone always is like, the game's been updated, it's so good now. But then I hop in, I'm like, I'm experiencing the exact same.
Because I think they didn't change the leveling experience.
Yeah.
They changed because
I think it's all in game.
yeah. What I heard the complaint was once you got to end game, there wasn't a ton to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Which is kind of like the gist with those style of games.
Yeah.
You know, Destiny, that game, whatever. So I can really only talk about the leveling, but that's fun. The gunplay's fun, and then finding new guns and going into the Dark Zone, which is like a PvP.
Have you done much Dark Zone stuff?
I've done a bit.
Okay.
I've only gotten killed once, and it was, of course, when I found a purple gun, which it goes like gray, green, blue, purple. And I
Yes.
think there's one after that, but I can't
It
remember.
might be orange or yellow.
It's probably orange.
How much is the Division right now?
30?
It's normally 40 or 60, actually.
It's normally 60, which I
Or
guess
something.
their updates supposedly justify that. And then there was a sale recently.
yeah, there's
where
a
it was
sale that's
30.
$20.
So you should really wait for a sale to
Yeah.
get into it.
Because I play a lot of Wildlands, and that kind of, I don't know, just some of the things you were saying kind of reminds me of that.
Wildlands and Division have been compared.
Yeah,
a lot.
my buddy played both Wildlands and the Division. He said the Division is just Wildlands but better. I haven't played the
Well,
Wildlands.
Wildlands
though.
isn't like a loot-driven game, right? Like you don't pick up new guns of different rarity that have like damage stats or like.
No, this is more of just like there's a map, and then you unlock like certain guns. I mean, they have different stats, but like it's not like you find them like randomly across the map. It's like you have to go to certain locations. Like
Is
to
there like
find them.
vertical upgrades and stuff? Like does this gun do just more damage than that gun? It's just
Yeah.
all around better.
Yeah, like I think the stats are like damage, accuracy, handling. So like how fast, like you can like put the sights up.
Aim
and
down
shit.
sight, yeah.
Yeah, and then you also find like weapon attachments that
Okay.
but there's not like.
I'm assuming it's a little more like horizontal in nature, but there's probably
Yeah.
still guns that
Yeah.
are better than other guns, just
Yeah.
as like
Yeah.
the nature of it being a video game.
The Division is very much just vertical.
Yeah,
upgrades.
Wildlands looked like a slightly more tactical kind of sandbox-esque game in the vein of like dicking around in Grand Theft Auto.
Uh-huh.
is
What-
the-
Yeah, that's pretty actually spot
I don't know
on.
about
Like,
Wildlands, but fucking the Division looks fantastic.
It does look really good, and it runs really good
It
too.
runs really well.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think I would enjoy. I think it's New York. Running around, post-apocalyptic. I guess it's kind of not really
post-apocalyptic New York, but not the world.
Yeah.
like the virus or in the.
I thought it did affect the world.
I didn't think it did. I think it's only New York, which is like one of the criticisms of the game originally. It was like, this story doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm pretty
But-
sure it started in New York, but it affected other places as well.
Okay, maybe it spread, but I just remember
At least
that being
the
one of
US.
the initial criticisms.
I don't know. I kind of like that it's like you're the one city that got fucking railed.
Yeah, it just like in terms of like a real world logistics standpoint, it's
Yeah.
kind of fucking absurd because like if New York got hit alone and like quarantined off, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, the story, by the way, for the people that have no idea what we're talking about, is that on Black Friday, somebody engineered a more powerful smallpox virus. And
Yeah.
they put it on banknotes, and when everybody fucking went around shopping for their loved ones, they got a little ill.
So you're running around ruined New York, like fighting essentially looters and
Yeah.
gangs, and really what you're doing is shooting at bullet sponge enemies and collecting their fat loot.
So that's the thing
But-
that did change, is it's not really bullet sponge enemies anymore.
they're
It's not like one bullet headshots, for
no,
sure.
but like there's bullet sponge enemies, right? Like denoted by yellow and purple.
Yeah,
health
so
bars.
different rarities, they can have like kind of bullet spongy elements, but I find that
I don't think it's bad. I'm not
Yeah.
saying about bullet sponge as a criticism because I don't think you can have a game like this without it, unless it's a zombie game where you
Uh-huh.
have like a bunch of enemies with no health and the challenge is the number of them.
yeah.
I don't think there's like from a game design standpoint any way around it.
I don't know,
But-
because like it doesn't feel. I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and when I first played the Division in beta, like when they did that free whatever, I definitely felt the bullet spongy elements. And I don't know if it's just like I've gotten more used to it, or maybe they tweaked the numbers a little bit, but it doesn't feel as bad. Like the yellow enemies definitely feel like, all right, this is this guy definitely takes more hits, but they have like armor.
Yeah, and also they do a good job of pursuing you and kind of like attacking you where you're not just shooting at something that fails to shoot back. That's not giving you any challenge,
Yeah,
right?
they have like grenades that they can toss that
Yeah.
like leave a red marker, and you're like you'll be behind cover, and so you'll have to move out of cover. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like playing it with friends. I feel like it's really cool, and then going into the dark zone is interesting.
So, as we've been talking about this game, I should probably arrive at the point that I will probably never play it again because in 2017 or 2018, sorry, getting my years mixed up.
Come on,
a
man.
game does not have an FOV slider or a fatal view slider, which is insane.
Yeah, but in the Division's case, it's their whole UI, right? It was
I still
based
feel
on
like there should be a way for them to do it because it's such like this game is. It's not just me either. It's making people motion sick. Like having a field of view locked at 60 on PC.
it's pretty unredeemable.
Yeah, like it's just not. It's not any game that releases without FOV adjustment now gets like harsh criticism from a lot of like critics or like Total Biscuit is well known for being like,
He's a very options heavy kind of guy.
yeah, it's like if you don't have a FOV slider, I'm not playing your fucking game. Like it's just an issue because people get motion sick, and like it's a standard feature with modern games.
And that sucks that you can't enjoy this fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean it does because that's the only criticism that I can actually make about the game. At this current
It
point.
doesn't really bother me, which I'm kind of glad about. I mean, it seems ridiculous they
Just
wouldn't have
like
that.
a question, just because I do not struggle with something like that. Why is that it like causes you to get sick?
It's
Yeah.
just everything is too. So it depends on the display you're playing on, right? Like if you have 60 field of view on a TV, you're probably going to be fine. But when you're very close to a monitor, there's no distance, right? Like field of view gives the illusion of distance, and when there's no distance, everything feels like crushed up against the screen,
Oh, okay.
and it creates this kind of like motion sickness effect that affects a lot of people.
Did you play Dark Souls? Not Dark Souls. Dead Space.
Yes, on PC a long time ago.
Did that have an FOV slider?
That was like 2005 or something. But
Because that kind of strikes me as like one of those games that's like, you know, very much Isaac takes up a third of the screen and then his HP is on his back and it's all kind of UI based. And I feel like an FOV slider would mess with that, but maybe I'm remembering incorrectly.
well, I want to say Division actually does scale the FOV if you play at higher resolutions. I might have read that. So like if you play at 1440p or 4K, that'll actually adjust the FOV because lower FOV hits even harder at those resolutions.
There's got to be a way to tweak it. That would be ridiculous.
There's not. I mean,
there's like a ton of people complaining and nobody's found a way to tweak the FOV.
correct. Like if you Google the
insane.
issue right now, you'll see it'll link you to multiple message or posts on Ubisoft forums and stuff. People being like,
And UB hasn't responded at all, or
they're-
whoever made
nope.
the division.
Multiple people are just like, can you please put an FOV slider in this game?
All right,
'Cause,
here's
like,
what you do. I've got it for you. Okay. You play with binoculars on, but you're super far away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking not even in your house. Remote, Bluetooth, keyboard and mouse. I just fixed the issue. You're farther away from the screen, right?
That's a
Genius.
that's a reasonable solution. Also, just playing on my TV with a gamepad would fix it, but I
Or
don't
just you
really
putting
want
in
to
a
play with a
fucking FOV
controller.
slider.
Do what?
Or you be just putting it in.
Yeah,
FOV
that would
setting.
also fix it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like this game has everything that I want, and I love shooters. I love loot games. Like I'm a big like Destiny. This game is right up my alley. I'll just never be able to enjoy it the way I want to.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Moving forward a little bit, Nintendo Main Direct. I know nothing about it.
We are in our news section. And now if you can just imagine, yes, for a second, we have a song going right now. That's it.
That's
our
the
song.
casually toxic news.
So yeah, Nintendo had that mini direct, which they announced Dark Souls Remaster. I am in the news section, Matt.
No, we're still transitioning.
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
a long transition.
This
It's
is
not,
a
you
very
can't just
long
like blink your eyes and be in news. There's gotta be more lead up.
Are we in the news?
Yeah, we're in the fucking news.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Ian.
In this, in the Nintendo Mini Direct, they announced Dark Souls Remaster. A World Ends with You, coming to the Switch. All these are coming to the Switch. Super Mario Tennis, which
Wait,
I'm
they announced the Dark Souls remaster at Nintendo's menu.
yeah. And it's coming to more than just a Switch. It's coming to the PS4 and Xbox.
Fuck, that's
I
so
don't know.
weird.
It's weird.
Whatever.
New Pokken characters. I don't play that game, but it's a
Ooh.
thing that happened.
Well, that's probably why on our list it's labeled as Pokken garbage.
Yeah, I probably meant to change that.
No, that's completely suitable because we don't play Pokken.
Scotty fuming right now because Scotty definitely plays Pokken.
Well, Scotty isn't mic'd up. He's just our silent producer, and he doesn't matter.
Yeah, his opinions are ultimately somewhat worthless in this scenario. Okay.
What I'm most excited about out of this whole thing, honestly,
Uh-huh.
you'd think it's Dark Souls Remaster. It's fucking Super Mario Tennis.
Oh, what the fuck?
Dude, Super Mario Aces. Do you ever fuck with Super Mario Strikers or whatever on the GameCube?
Like,
Dude.
once?
That was the game.
It
man.
really is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is it local, online, multiplayer? What is Super Mario Tennis?
I don't know. They just announced that it's like Super Mario Aces or whatever the hell,
Dude,
but it
you
has like a
just
single
made my
player
year.
story.
Like I'm very excited now
Dude.
because I love that like old tennis game. Like
Mario sports games are where it's at.
they tend to be pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, from what I understand, then the Dark Souls remaster really isn't going to be that much.
I mean, it's probably nothing that you can't do on PC with like DS fix and some mods, right?
Yeah.
Like, I started playing Dark Souls like a few months ago, or no, like a month ago. Made it halfway through the game as I normally do, and I've gotten.
You haven't
fallen
beaten
off.
the original Dark Souls?
No, I beat it. I
Oh.
just always like when I replay it, make it like halfway through.
Okay,
Or I
you
get
get
to
to,
like
like,
I get to
Anor Londo?
Ornstein and Smog, and I'm like, I've had enough of this.
I did a Soul Level 1 run, and beating Ornstein and Smo was a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Why'd you do this to yourself?
I don't know, because I'm a masochist or whatever the fuck they're called.
Uh huh.
And I don't know, it was really fun when I beat him.
Yeah.
But that fight's fucking hard. If somehow they just delete the... You've beaten it, right? You said
Yes,
if
yes.
they delete
Wait,
the
hold
beta
on.
chaos,
Oh.
it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
If they delete that boss, I'll be okay with it.
Sure. But they won't.
If they just literally remove things, I will be okay with that fucking game.
Yeah, but they're not going to. They're going to release it just as is, I guess, with some slight graphical upgrades, which you could do through mods on PC anyway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I do see the appeal in, like, playing it on the Switch, on the go.
Yeah, they said it's going to be 1080, 30 FPS on a TV with a Switch.
And then 60,
720.
720.
720 still 30
What the fuck? Okay.
mobile.
Well, I guess that makes sense, since the
Yeah.
Switch in handheld mode is a weaker platform.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see like what they do with it. If it's just like what exactly they're remastering.
My assumption is that instead of a remaster, they're calling it a remaster, but my assumption is that this is just going to be more of a re-release to milk it and also to get on more platforms. I'll be genuinely surprised if they go to any great length with this to.
But why would they
overhaul it,
release it on PC again?
because they're releasing on everything else.
That's fair.
Just like to say it's not coming to PC, it would be a weird thing.
That's true.
I mean, they did that with Skyrim too. The Skyrim remaster or whatever they released on PC, and everyone was like, "Why the fuck did you put this on here?"
I thought
We
they
have
did
mods.
like yeah, but they did. I thought they made it so you could have like heavier mods.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just like the Skyrim remaster was released on PC and everyone.
PC yet again getting the short end of the stick.
Well, it's
Which, by the way, Monster Hunter World PC is coming in fucking August.
yeah.
But on
Ew.
PS4, it's on the 26th.
Wait.
It's coming out
Like
this Friday. Monster Hunter World for
What?
PS4 and Xbox, or just PS4? Just PS4.
I'm not sure. Are you gonna play it on PS4? Or are you
Oh,
gonna wait?
absolutely. I'm not going to be able to
I don't know.
have that much self-control.
I guess we'll have to have you come on here and talk about it because I won't be playing it till August.
Dude, that game and Dragon Ball Z are releasing on the same day.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Probably not sleep for 77 hours.
77. That's a very specific number.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's those extra couple hours. Staying up for 3 days is I'm not gonna have enough time to play it, but those extra 5 hours.
Yeah, that
really
that
gonna
makes
put
a
me
lot of
over the
sense.
edge. Other than that, Nintendo did a Labo.
Yeah. The first thought that came to my mind when I saw that was gimmick, great cash grab.
Well,
Got
no,
it.
it's definitely not. They definitely announced it's for kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And-
what. Yeah,
And I mean, honestly, if I was a kid and I could dress up like a fucking robot and play a video game, you bet your ass I would.
what's the difference of just like cutting out some cardboard from a bunch of boxes, making a robot outfit, and then holding your Switch controllers and just playing the game?
See, I'm not exactly sure on how this thing's working. They're using like
That's a good point.
they're using like IR sensors, right? Or whatever. I mean, because that's what they said is that the software is going to be a price,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're going to give you shit that you can cut out on your own cardboard.
Yeah.
You know, so it's basically you're just paying for the software.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is. That's the difference.
I
You're
mean,
buying the actual game.
I hope they build it out and it's actually something cool. If it's just target for kids, then I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. If they build it out and it is something cool, then great. But I just saw the overwhelmingly like positive reaction to it that happened right when they launched it.
You saw an overwhelming
Yeah,
positive
I saw
reaction?
a lot of people getting really excited.
I saw
about
people
it.
just saying it's for kids,
Oh.
which is what it was.
That was
that's what
not
they
that was
announced.
not like the impression I got when I saw it. I thought it was just them trying to cash grab.
What would
but-
they? What would the cash grab be? What would they be? What would they be grabbing the cash from? What trend are they riding right now?
The what trend?
Yeah, the cardboard trend.
To give yeah, to be fair, it is a completely original.
Yeah,
idea.
I don't think it's a cash grab.
Yeah,
How dare you
that's fair.
insult Nintendo?
Oh my god!
I'm
this,
just
this
joking.
podcast is filled with Nintendo fanboys.
I haven't played. I don't even own a Switch.
Yeah.
My game of the year was Prey.
That's fair.
I'm not a Nintendo fanboy.
My game of the year is Nier Automata, and I'm not even a weeb.
We don't even own. I don't own the Switch. Do you own the Switch?
No, I don't.
That's
own a
probably
Switch.
why we're not Nintendo.
My girlfriend's
fanboys.
roommate owns a Switch, and I played Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. I was like, well, I don't need to buy a Switch now.
There you go. Other than that, man, what else? There's been it's middle of January. There's not a ton of shit going on. AGDQ happened, and it existed, and people did games.
We like talking about AGDQ with people is so weird because the chances that you actually lined up and watched the exact same runs is very small.
I watched like 0 runs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then are the chance we watch the same runs are absolutely zero.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I watched more this year than I ever have in the past. And
Really?
I would always just I kind of got bummed out every time they were like, this run's going to take an hour and a half. Like, Halo 5 Guardians came on. I was like, I guess I'll watch this. They're like, this is going to be an hour and a half of him running past enemies. And I was like, no thanks.
Yeah, I mostly watch it if it's like it's a game that I played and I put
Yeah.
30 hours into, and they're beating it in 7 minutes. I'm just like, that'll
That
be
part's
interesting.
cool, but when
Yeah.
you're telling me you're doing an hour and a half Halo run where you literally mean run past everything, I was just
Yeah.
like,
At that point, I'm just at that point, it's just like I'm watching it because
Yeah.
I haven't played the game and I want to see what the game
I
is.
do like watching games I haven't played though because I get to see
Yeah.
parts of the game that I wouldn't have otherwise.
It's interesting that you said you've watched the most this year
Yeah,
because I've watched the least this year
really.
because they've cracked down more and more on the whole PC, I guess, side of it. Like, you have to sub to the channel to talk and chat now, which is kind of retarded.
Oh, I never talk in Twitch chat anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, and Twitch chat is cancerous, but, you know, it's kind of weird.
I have to be a special kind of board to talk in Twitch chat.
I don't know. I mean, it's always fun to just, like, spam out something.
Sure.
I don't know. It's just, it's gotten more and more just the same. Like, hey, long time watcher, first time donator here, and, you know, insert something about cancer and it sucks, and here's $10, and that's every message. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with it, but it's just like, I don't know, like there used to be more interesting messages and, to me, a funnier overall event. And with its popularity increasing, it's just gotten more,
Like corporate-ish? Or
yeah,
like,
corporate-ish would be the
That's
way I
fair.
described it.
I mean, it's a non-profit company generating a decent amount of revenue.
I
so-
thought that's not what it was, because AGDQ, I thought, like, the guy that runs it definitely took a cut. I could be talking out my ass.
I
I'm pretty sure.
Like, AGDQ,
whoa, I didn't know that. Does he put it right back into AGDQ?
I don't think so.
That's kind of shady.
I think SGDQ, though, is run by a different guy.
Oh, that's kind of shady if that's true. That if he's just
Yeah.
putting money in his pocket when he's kind of billing it as all these funds are going to. If it's to run AGDQ, then whatever.
I mean,
that's kind of like what it is, and also to like pay the people that put in a lot of effort to help. You
Oh, okay.
give people-
I mean, there's
Yeah.
definitely that's happening. People are getting paid, but I also
but some people might be getting paid a little extra,
a little something on top.
just a little something.
I might tune into more of it next year.
I mean, it's just a
But-
rumor. And speaking of rumors, there's a rumor that there's going to be another Fable.
Is it gonna have what's his name ahead of it? Peter.
Nope, it's not developed by Lionhead Studios.
Oh.
It's
okay.
developed by something completely different, supposedly, and I'm going to look it up right now. But I'm really excited about it. Have you played Fable anything?
I beat Fable 1 Anniversary Edition. I've seen people play Fable 2 and 3. I was never a huge fan, but also I was following all the coverage on Fable before it actually came out, where they were hyping it up to be the greatest sandbox, like, do whatever you want game, and then the reality was like, here's this very linear game that's actually not that impressive. I like Lionhead's other games a lot more, like Black and White,
I heard that was really good. I never played it though.
God Simulator.
All right, so it's developed by Playground Games. They've done such prestigious titles as Forza Horizon,
Ooh.
Forza Horizon 2,
Ooh,
Right,
you
just
better
real
say
quick.
3.
Alberto's on board.
Forza
I
Horizon
fucking
3.
love Forza Horizon games
Huh.
and like Forza games, so
I mean, I'm down
shit
for
on
a different
Playground.
studio to take control because Fable got worse as the game progressed.
Did they
as the
also do
series-
Forza Horizon 3?
Yes.
Okay, because that's the one I play the most of, and I really
And
enjoy
you
that.
enjoyed
game.
that.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 3 is.
It's going to be interesting how they take on Fable
yeah, that's
going from a racing game.
Well,
What they should do is hand me Fable, and I will make a great game,
Yeah.
knowing nothing of game design, and also not how to program at all.
I
I
mean,
guarantee I can make it say "Hello World."
yeah, that's all you need in a game, really. Just
Yeah, that's
know
basically
Java.
Fable, right?
The cool thing,
You just do if-else statements for every possible choice that the player makes.
if you design it on Unreal, there's actually something called a blueprint, where you just have a bunch of boxes, and that's like how you code. And you like link boxes together that are different functions.
That's
and
interesting.
Stuff like that.
There's been a lot of like, other than Fable, there's like Cyberpunk 2077 beep. Like the Twitter literally typed out beep.
Did they?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
it. Like I don't know, just like these games that like I guess I kind of thought were dead, are like potentially
I
coming back
thought
to the
people
surface.
were still talking about Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah.
like through all last year.
But I mean, it's just because it's the company that did The Witcher.
yeah,
So
I cannot imagine that like CD Projekt Red would back out of it or anything.
they definitely aren't gonna back out.
Yeah,
But I definitely thought it was not gonna happen for a while.
yeah.
And the fact that they just typed out, it's crazy that it got news spots because all they did was type out literally beep.
Well, this developers of Witcher, like it's gonna be that people are keeping a close eye on them now because of the impact that Witcher 3
Yeah.
made. And then I feel like the impact Witcher 3 made was kind of overridden by Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is actually kind of like redefined open world games.
Well,
But
I mean, I don't know if that's true. I still hear a lot of, when did Witcher 3 came out? 2015, 2016?
I think it was 2016.
And then Breath of the Wild came out 2017, obviously.
Yeah.
I definitely think, in terms of overall open world, they still, mechanics wise, people enjoy Breath of the Wild, right? Same, like kind of in the vein of Metal Gear Solid 5, if I'm not wrong.
Sure, to an extent. Like the entire.
It's fun messing around in the open world with the mechanics.
It's more than just like the gameplay mechanics, though. Like the actual world design is such a departure.
But have you
from-
played The Witcher 3?
I played up to the first big city.
That's like nothing.
Wow,
There's so much to that game.
it's something.
That's a game.
It was like 20 hours
It
of
was open
something.
world.
I did something for 20 hours.
I'm like,
In my defense, like it was something.
that's fair. And we're not going to talk about how The Witcher 3 is a great game, but it is a great game.
Yeah,
it's,
And
boring.
how is it boring?
I got bored.
get out.
I had to
Get
do
out,
an
man.
entire chain quest for fucking Dandelion that lasted like 5 hours. And I was like, you know what, Dandelion?
What
Fuck
fucking
you.
chain
I'm
quest
done
are
with
you
this
doing
game.
for 5 hours? Did you put
Dandelion.
it down for 4.5 hours?
His name is scarred in my memory. Like when I think Witcher 3, I think fucking Dandelion.
Did you play Witcher 2?
Not much of it. I played Witcher 1, but not all of it.
God, I've just never been so flabbergasted.
Well, you have a lot of misconceptions. Like
Misconceptions.
Rainbow Six is better than CS:GO.
Wait, but we're not going to get into this.
Aw,
We don't have
but I love
we don't have
baiting
Sears
you.
here to break us up.
I know.
We're just going to go
This
for
could be
hours.
all out war.
What did I just get thrown into, guys?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is a thing. I don't know. Other than Cyberpunk 2077 Vive Pro.
Yeah.
is a thing.
What is it?
Well, it's a VR
Great.
headset. There's this new thing called VR,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Virtual reality.
Okay.
Basically, what happens is you just chat with other fucking people.
Yeah. It's called like
VR
VR
chat.
chat equals VR.
Yeah, that's
right?
basically the only
Did you
reason.
see the guy that had a seizure?
I saw that there was a video
Whoa.
that happened in. I didn't see the video.
Everyone was hanging out in VR chat, and all of a sudden, some guy's avatar like drops to the ground and starts convulsing, and they heard him breathing really loudly over the mic. It was actually kind of a feel-good story that Kotaku did on it, but they all gathered around him and tried talking him through it.
That's
He ended
crazy.
up being okay, but he had a seizure while in VR.
You know what's kind of weird that I never expected is a seizure is just like a thing that happens, and to people that like normally have seizures, they just get up and they go on with it.
Yeah, they don't remember it. I think in response, they asked him about it, and he's like, I don't even remember what happened during that time. Like, I blacked out. I just remember waking up, and I guess he had his headset still on, and he's like, I woke up to all these voices that were, like, concerned.
That's
And-
so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. It was like another kind of VR, only in VR.
I always
moment.
figured that you'd have a seizure and immediately go to the hospital, but that's not
No.
necessarily true.
There's also like I'm very ignorant on this topic.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's some
That's my whole-
medicine or something you take after you
Yeah.
have a seizure that helps you come down from it.
I only operate in ignorance. That's my
Ye-
whole standpoint.
Yeah,
I don't
mix
know.
of ignorant. I'm not ignorant about worthless things, but I'm very ignorant about
The important things.
the important things.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
That's the way to do it. That's how I feel like living life.
If you want to talk to me about like the current Path of Exile meta and what builds are top tier, I'm on top of that shit.
But what about
But if you try to talk to
World
me about
news.
seizures or what is world
Right.
news is video games.
Trump? Forget about that. Let's talk about Overwatch League.
Overwatch League.
That happened.
My gut reaction to that is Overwatch is an esport. They're still trying.
Okay, so it's not fair for us to criticize because I don't. Do you like Overwatch, Alberto?
Personally, I like it. I mean, I'm not like going crazy. I said I like it again. I'm not going crazy for the game, but
Uh-huh.
you know, I played it when it first released, and I think I played like the beta or whatever. And
That's about what happened with me. I hit this weird wall where I played it a absolute shit ton, and I really loved it. Like when open beta came out, all that I was on it. First week of its actual release, I was playing that game all the time, and then I just stopped playing it, and I've never gone back to it like I have, or like I did when.
I played
know.
it and it was fun. If I play a shooter or like a competitive game, I want it to be competitive.
Yeah.
And I always viewed Overwatch as more of a casual shooter. In the vein of like Team Fortress 2. Like who the fuck plays Team Fortress 2 competitively?
There's the scene.
I know there's a scene for Overwatch, and I guess it's inevitable with like any big release that could have a competitive aspect to it. I'm just surprised they're still even trying at this point.
Did you guys watch any of the streams?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I did. It was interesting, and coming from League and how they have the LCS or whatever, I can definitely see some very similar structures. I guess is the way I'm gonna say it.
Sure.
Like, they have an analyst desk, and I guess it's not really fair for me to say that's a League thing because that's probably every tournament where they have like an analyst desk and then they
Yeah.
have the coaching desk.
That's how
or not
Rocket
coaching,
League
but
is. Yeah.
casting. But it was really good quality. Normally,
I
video
bet.
game,
I mean, it's Blizzard.
Yeah.
Even WoW arenas are still good quality.
dude,
but
video game tournaments are usually pretty rough. I've seen some horror stories with like Dota 2 and CS.
that's fair.
But
But also with CS and Dota 2, there's so many of them that a lot of them don't have like the back. They're not the main thing. Like
Yeah.
when things go wrong in those games, I feel like there are these weird kind of side tournaments. Not like I don't think anything bad goes wrong in the international, for example.
yeah, and so how do you feel about the Overwatch teams being region based? Houston
I think that's
Buccaneers or whatever the hell they are.
I think that's actually a really good idea because something that's lacking in video or esports compared to real sports
Yeah.
is a sense of region or like country
Pride?
or pride. Yeah, well, I hate saying like country pride or whatever, but
Let's
just
go
like
Georgia Giants.
yeah, like people cling on to like the team that's associated with their state, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like arbitrary. Like
For
I've
sure.
never understood it, but also I understand that's lacking in esports.
Yeah.
And in esports, what you end up doing is you kind of just pick a team based on what you've watched of them, or like
Yeah.
because there's not personality isn't really huge in esports either, which is another thing
That's
kind
not
of
true.
What like there's some personality, but not nearly as much as like normal sports. Like there's a lot of sports, especially like when I'm watching Rocket League or something, it's very hard to connect with the player behind the car. Like they do interviews to help balance that, but it's still nowhere near the same level.
I could be
as, like-
wrong, but for me, with League of Legends, personally, I connect way more with the players than I do necessarily the organization.
And maybe League does a good job with it where other games don't.
I'm not.
But-
I don't know. I mean, I feel like League just has like a ton of very outspoken people. Like there's this
Sure.
guy named Double If that just all he does is shit talk people, and it's
Sure.
hilarious.
And maybe I'm getting a bad impression because the most thing I watch is Rocket League, which is like,
Not even a real sport or an esport or even a good game.
Also, Rocket League's like nice people, and then League's like mean people.
yeah,
Maybe
Rock.
that.
I was gonna say Rocket League is nice people, but also Rocket League is generally a younger audience. Like, there's a lot of professionals that are 16, basically.
That's insane.
So they're not super outspoken or anything.
How crazy! Like 16 years old, and you're already like the best.
It's because of supersonic acrobatic,
Rocket powered battle
rocket
cars or
powered
whatever.
battle cars. Supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
tongue twister,
mouthful.
man.
Is like, it was a game where a bunch of like 10 to 12 year olds picked up when it came out, and those are the people that are the pros today that just turned like 16 to 18, as they play that for years before Rocket League actually came out.
But kind of tying it back, I heard a complaint with Dota 2 and like not being able to care about players or teams is apparently in that game, players switch teams all the time.
And
all the
Dota
time.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. And so having this kind of, regional pride is definitely, I feel, a positive.
Yeah, I think it's a smart way of doing it. I think it's going to be the natural evolution of esports.
Yeah.
Because like the model for real life sports works, obviously.
Yes.
Everyone loves real life sports except for me and us, or I don't
Right.
know how you guys feel about sports. Anyway, so it's going to start drawing elements from that. And I really do see esports taking off in a meaningful way once it does. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
region-based thing is like a good step towards that.
So do you think
But-
that kind of like opens it up a lot more instead of just like the top 5 players from like one country? Like it opens it up like more opportunity for like more people to kind of. or
I
not
mean, I
really?
feel like if you have
You're
only
saying to
10
compete?
teams.
Yeah, like to
I think
compete.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think it
because
will.
instead of just being like the top 5 people from like just the entire country, and like that's the only names known in like a certain game. Like, I mean, not necessarily, I'm just kind of speaking generally.
Right.
That kind of, if there's regional, so if there's like a team in Atlanta, then like maybe one of us could be playing.
Oh,
you
I'd
know.
be playing in Atlanta for sure if there was a team in. I'm the best Overwatch
so
player.
a good example of that's actually the Collegiate Rocket League had a tournament for
Okay.
colleges specifically, and those were tied to universities. And when I was watching, I mean, the player skill level was way lower. I could definitely competed in
Oh
it.
my god.
Just saying.
You're so humble, Matt.
Hey, man.
Was there a KSU? Rocket League team?
There was not. The closest to us was actually South Carolina. I forgot what university.
Wow, really?
specific.
There wasn't like a UGA or anything?
No, there wasn't UJ or anything, which is
insane.
kind of weird because like one of the top Rocket League players is Kronovi, and he
Yeah.
he started in Georgia.
He went to
he
KSU.
he went to Kennesaw State University.
That's so weird.
Which for people listening is where I currently attend.
I remember I was watching like a documentary on, I guess, Kronovi or something. There's a
Yeah.
video with him. And
Yeah,
I saw
I've
his
seen that.
KSU ID badge on his desk,
Yep.
and I was like, yo.
I've seen that video. Yeah,
This is really cool.
but there was nothing. But still, like having that sense of region and stuff, definitely it would, because it is location based. You'd be able to hop into it because they'd be more desperate for people like in the area to like
Yeah.
join up with them.
I think this is good. I mean, Overwatch, Blizzard, I guess, invested a shit ton of money. Wasn't it like 20 million to buy into an Overwatch spot or some crazy number?
I have no idea.
It was insane. It was like you would not think that they would be able to fill up all the spots, but then they did. And
Yeah.
It's just like, all right. I mean, I guess if you're going after people that own football teams and shit, like they don't really care. They'll pay 20 million, especially because I see no way that esports or whatever competitive gaming doesn't take off.
No, I think it's an inevitability at this point. Like, I've read the statistics that I read, but more people are playing games now than ever. Like, where when I was growing up in the 90s and stuff, it was such a niche thing. Like, gaming is a common household activity, at least in America. I think it's something like well over 50% of people play video games.
That's insane.
But also, then you have to get into like what defines playing a video game, and I think that's where it ran into some issue because they were counting phone games.
Yeah, so it says regional franchising in Overwatch runs a cool 20 million on the low end.
Wow.
So I don't know if that means it's even more than that, but that's a lot of dollar bills.
Yeah, it is.
Think of how many stackers you can get from Taco Bell.
That's
20
a
million.
lot of.
Unlimited.
Yeah, 20 million
Speaking of
stackers.
Taco Bell, I had that $5 Cravings box last night.
Yeah, it's really good with the stacker.
It is so good.
Yeah, you get that Dorito taco,
Taco Bell is underrated.
crunchy taco.
It's up. It should get a Michelin star.
Taco hell. Taco Bell is the greatest food in America. Just throwing it out there. I love Taco Bell. It is a passion. But yeah, I'm pretty hopeful for a bright future for esports. I want to live in like the weird dystopian society where like everyone is just like where VR is incorporated into it and like
You pay in memes and skill rating.
yeah, and you like attend in like a virtual reality stadium.
Yo, if I could go to virtual reality school,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool.
Have you read Ready Player One?
Yeah, I did not like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Ready Player One.
You liked that book?
Yeah. I really like it. I'm gonna go see the movie. It's probably gonna suck.
I'm gonna go see the movie, but I want to talk to you about how you like that book.
It's
I don't want to
Cool.
spoil it though.
oh yeah. We can't spoil it for anyone. It's Ready Player One is beloved by most people other than Ian.
No,
And-
it's not even got good reviews.
yeah, it does. What are you talking about?
I'ma look
Ready
it up.
Player One made a splash.
It made a splash as like a book that was targeted towards players, but I thought
No.
Might need to give this book a read.
it's like
I had no idea it was a book.
Okay, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's got good reviews, but
Yeah, Ready Player One is beloved by everyone other than Ian.
Okay, so I think my problem with it is I listened to the audio version
Yeah, narrated by
Hold on.
fucking Will
Shut up
Wheaton
for
of
2
Star
seconds.
Trek fame.
and then it was the extended cut, and I feel like there were some problems with it.
Man, I listen to Will Wheaton talk in my ear all day.
Would you listen to a Will Wheaton ASMR?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Will Wheaton here. Did that sound like Will Wheaton?
And with that, we're going to call it for today. This has been the Casually Toxic Podcast, episode 10.
Dude, number 10, man.
Number 10.
That's 10 more of anything I've ever done in my life.
Have you done 10 push-ups?
No.
Have you masturbated 10 times?
Only once, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was,
You're-
it was to the Portal Bridge constructor.
Ah!